I roll with a lot of people around the world, and I roll with Islam, and that dude is like on another level. He is the best combination I have ever rolled with of technique, strength, and balance like I've ever rolled with. He was on another fucking level. So I think he's gonna spank Charles.
Now, do you think Islam would make it to the fight with your mouth around his dick? He's the best I've ever felt of just balance and power. This man's only been dropped once in the gym by me.
Yeah, and that was by his breath. Fucking.
He looked like that when he got done with practice too.
So what is your plan today, Mads?
We're gonna go grapple right now, and then later maybe grappling, maybe sparring. It depends.
I don't know if you realize, but these Danish, they say everything like 2 or 3 times in a row.
Do you speak any Danish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Get that visa. Visa.
That's pussy. That's the only word he needs.
Bring in a little bit of that Americana.
I love it.
I got a fever. Got a big old batch of fever on the brain. Doc pulled out his notepad, wrote down.
Here we are.
Ooh. This motherfucker got fucking soda cans all over the place.
Nah.
Gatorades.
I only drink clean. I only drink water.
Oh yeah. They have water bottles. The fuck is that? It look like a milkshake.
No, it's protein and.
Doesn't look like
vitamin.
water to me. This motherfucker's done lying. We're getting caught him.
What's the plan today for Mads, coach?
Well, got a few boys coming in and going to grapple. And then tonight, probably another little light sparring.
He's always like ahead position wise, like so every time I manage maybe or I get a takedown or reversal, he's always like just popping around the hook, just going somewhere that he gets on top again.
Yeah.
And then he's just like heavy, just letting you work, but heavy. So it's like, as soon as you get on the bottom, it's just one long ride until the end, you know, like, oh.
He's got amazing get-ups from his back as well.
Yeah. That's it, right? As soon as you get him on the bottom, he's like popping up. And always in a good position. It's like almost never to something bad or like neutral or something. It's always like just getting somewhere good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tough round.
Yeah, it's good scrambles and stuff.
What type of things were you looking to do today?
It's just the camp is done, so it's just getting some rounding, getting some sweat. Like the last week of training is just getting some sweat going in and just staying sharp, not getting injured. Yeah, so it was good. Like I'm opportunist if you say that. Like not that I'm never gonna jump for like a fucking triangle and on bottom. But if I smell any sort of submission where I'm on top, I'ma fucking take it. It's not like, yeah, I'ma take it. You don't play with that kind of money. So yeah, I want a Mercedes. So
is that the plan? Yeah.
I want a fucking Mercedes after this fight.
You can actually go online and like put in the like UFC. Again, I'm going off like the high level shows, right? You can go online and you can actually look up these stats. It used to be a couple of years back. I haven't looked in a couple of years. A couple of years back, rear naked choke was 33% of all submissions. So you got to think on just the defensive side, if I was just a pure wrestler and I was going to coach that guy, you know what? If we can get really good at defending rear naked chokes, that just takes away 33% of all your submissions. That just gives you a huge advantage now, right? So you don't have to be like a big jiu-jitsu guy. You just got to know the thing. So like I was saying, 4 submissions, what I call 4 horsemen, rear naked choke, which is the biggest. Then there's like guillotine, triangle, and arm bars. Those make up about 85% of all submissions. And then after that, then you got like your head and arm chokes. That's probably right after that, and then a bunch of the other stuff, right? But again, if you can get good at those 4, if all you had was a high level wrestler, and I just coached you in 6 months, hey, defend these 4, that dude's a problem.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, and the reason, the other thing too is most of the time the rear naked choke is because guys will get like mounted or whatnot, and they'll get punched, and then they turn and give their back up. But even if, say that happened to you, right, and you're getting punched and you turn and give your back up, and a dude took your back, if you were real, like if your rear naked choke defense was such a high level, it wouldn't matter. I mean, yeah, the guy's on your back, but maybe you don't get TKO'd and stopped, and now maybe you can defend it. Maybe you can create a scramble, and
or you can get to the end of the round and
get to the end of the round, survive, right? So I think it's huge to know those 4 more than like doing your leg locks and all that shit.
Man, when I woke you up today, it's literally sound like you just been crying or some shit. Because you were dead. You were fucking dead. I knocked on his floor. I knocked on your door first, and then you didn't answer. So I let you, I wait 10 minutes. Then I go back and knock on his door, right? Like, yo, Dennis, are you there? Yeah. I think you literally like woke up when I knocked or some shit. Yeah. Like, yo, are you alright? Yeah, I'm good. Like you were just out with Pooh Bear all night.
Motherfucker woke me up. I had an hour of sleep. But you know what? I fucking strapped my boots on, and I fucking went anyhow.
He did.
Ain't no little bitch.
How long ago was it now when you fought Nate in Stockton?
Ooh, how long? Fuck, it was I think 2007. So, what? Fucking 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, right before he got in the Ultimate Fighter house. Which
Did he have much of a presence in the scene around that time, or was it just out of the fact that he was Nick's brother back then?
A lot of it was Nick's brother, but he was fighting in WC and smashing some dudes.
12th August 2006.
12th August 2006. There it is. So close to 2007. So 2006.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of it was Nick's brother, because Nick was the fucking man back then, and probably in his prime at that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, most of the people that I knew around that time knew Nate was probably going to go somewhere too.
Does Nate come into Xtreme at all? Has he ever, when he's been in the base?
Never been.
Have you?
He went to Syndicate, right? I've heard they went to Syndicate.
I think he's been to Syndicate. I think that's back at least when he went to Syndicate. I think Tony Diaz was over at Syndicate a bunch. I think that's kind of probably how they
women's
went
gym.
there. Yeah, Syndicate.
Have you had many encounters with him since then?
No, have not. I had like one friend that was on the phone with me who was with them, and he was like, "Oh, tell him what's up" or something like that. But like, that's really about it.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Can you give me the brown shirt right there?
Yes, brother.
I mean, now
Sitting right there.
now he might not even recognize me, because back then I had all that fucking nice looking hair and some abs and just looking on point.
Did you have him to do pretty well then against Hamza?
I did. I thought he was gonna, again, because I think he's durable, he's good off his back, and he sets a pace. So I think Khamzat probably would have thrown him around a little bit, right? Just because he's a lot more physical, and I don't feel Nate is very physical, at least when I fought him. And then So I think he would have threw him around a little bit, but I think Nate would have survived that. And then, like a lot of Nate's fights, where those later rounds, he starts to pick it up and put it on dudes, right? Even against Jorge, right? Like it got stopped for the cut, but like he was starting to come on right there at the end. So I think that was good.
Where are we now, Mads?
A spot called Sixpence. Chill spot.
Chill spot. What do they do here?
Food. No, we have a stripper coming in here in 5 minutes, and then Thomas is gonna give a little show. Pooh Bear is gonna go crazy.
What do you guys think is gonna happen at Makhachev Oliveira?
Islam is gonna submit Oliveira or pound him out within like 3 rounds.
I'm surprised how many people are picking Oliveira.
Yeah, because most people are dumb. I mean, I do respect Oliveira, and if we look, he can say his opinion,
Yeah,
but now I'm saying mine. If I look at what they have in their toolbox, I think Charles has way more in his toolbox, but Islam is just better at what he does, and he does it so well. I think he's gonna jump in and out of range, in and out of range, in and out of range. Really avoid like the stand-up, and then as soon as Oliveira extends, like overextends, in, take him down, slap him up, and get a choke. And people be like, oh yeah, but Charles have a good guard. That shit don't work on a dude with so good fundamentals as Islam. I roll with a lot of people around the world, and I roll with Islam, and that dude is like on another level. He is the best combination I have ever rolled with of technique, strength, and balance like I've ever rolled with. He was on another fucking level. So I think he's gonna spank Charles.
Now, do you think Islam would make it to the fight with your mouth around his dick? He's the best I've ever felt of just balance and power. What I think's gonna happen? Okay, let's get serious. Pretty much exactly what he said. But I'm gonna say it without my mouth on his dick. But yeah, I haven't had a go at him like this man has. But yeah, I think that's round 3. Yeah. Round 3. Same. You're gonna come out. You're gonna press him up, wear on him a little bit. Chip, put him down, beat him up. Oliveira's going to survive, but it can only survive for so long before it takes over. And then TKO or rear naked choke. This man's only been dropped once in the gym by me.
Yeah, and that was by his breath. Fucking.
He looked like that when he got done with practice too.
Told people in school that I was gonna do this, and everybody's like, nah, like just do something normal, like everybody would. Like, what is the odds of you actually making it? But you gotta be very stubborn, a little bit dumb, and just go for it. Just don't take no for an answer when it comes to like, yeah, the sport and what you can and cannot do. The real, like the educated fans, they know what they're seeing when they see me fight. Like they know what they're seeing with my boxing. But the uneducated eye, they don't understand what they're seeing. And it's kind of doing me a disservice sometimes when I'm like rolling with shots, like blocking them off my shoulders and coming back. Then sometimes the judges, or they think I'm getting hit when I'm actually not getting hit and stuff like that. So to the casual fan, they might not understand what I'm doing, but like there's a plan to the madness. I'm actually not taking damage. I know in the last fight I had a huge eye, and props to him for, I don't even know what the fuck he hit me with. And you can't swim without getting wet, right? Of course you're gonna get hit in the fight, but I think my defense is some of the best in the fucking business when it comes to the stand-up department. And that fight was fun. as hell to be in and to watch. So it was cool.
How does the sport like get better in that area, do you think?
That's hard. Maybe other fighters, but then some fighters don't understand, because you have some fighters that is great at jiu-jitsu, they don't really understand the stand-up game, and then you have the other way around where they're great at the stand-up game but doesn't understand the jiu-jitsu, so it's very hard. But I remember when I fought Emmanuel Sanchez, in between the rounds, they showed a slow-mo clip, and by accident in the slow-mo clip, the punch stats was down there as well, and then Big John was like, oh, Mads, he's getting hit by like a combo by Emmanuel Sanchez. But you can see in the slow-mo that I'm like dodging, blocking. But on the punch stats, it goes up, which is bullshit. And then I actually heard Paulie Malignaggi, he said like punch stats is also somebody sitting next to the ring or the cage who has to, oh, I think that one hit, and then he has to press a button. So punch stats doesn't mean shit either. Like, it shouldn't mean anything if I'm getting hit with 50 shots on my arms or my shoulder, if I pop you one on your chin, right? Yeah.
How did you think Mads looked in sparring today? Got to ask that.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. You know, again, things we've been working on, I could see it. Few things, like one thing I see that he kind of falls into that we're trying to get him to stop doing. And it's getting better,
nice.
But he'll still do it a little bit. So there's just a couple little tweaks in his game that I feel like if we can make these tweaks, then I mean, he's already hard to deal with. He's already, in my opinion, one of the best in the world, right? But it's like, okay, how do we take a guy who could maybe beat any guy in the world on any given night to, oh, he's beating everybody, like, there's no question, right? And it's just those couple little tweaks in his game that we're working on, and they're slowly getting better, right? And it's like, even in that last fight, if we would have had those things dialed in, I think we win that fight, you know? So, and I do think we'll probably end up running into him down the road as well. So this time we'll have those fixed and develop, and yeah. So overall, though, his sparring, he's looking on point. He's looking on point. His cardio's always fantastic. That's never a problem. And then the things we're working on stylistically for Pedro, he's doing well. So I think
that's awesome.
Yeah, everything's coming to an end and on point.
I was going to ask, what do you think to Pedro as a fighter? How do you rate him?
I think he's one of the best matchups for us, you know, and I think he's one of the easier matchups in the division compared to some of the guys in there. But again, like, you got to respect him. He's fought for the title, right? Like, yeah, maybe he doesn't look as flashy and stuff as some of these guys, but there's a reason he's beat some guys and he's fought for the title. There's not a lot that he does that wows you, but he's got a few tricks that we just got to watch out for, and if we take care of those, then the fight shouldn't be a problem. Again, never underestimating nobody, but yeah, I mean, I rate him down here compared to Adam Borks, right? And you see how close the fight with Adam Borks was, and with again, like I said, a couple tweaks, maybe we win that fight, right? And so, yeah, I don't think Pedro's gonna be a problem at all as long as Mads comes up and shows up. I think it's gonna be a pretty easy night.
Are we entering a stage in your career where your life is really starting to change in terms of like opportunity and potential to make more money?
Oh yes, I am.
How do you feel about that?
Oh man, I'm in a great position right now. I'm super grateful for where I am. It's with all the right people I have around me. So thanks to Bellator, thanks to Dominance MMA, thanks to all the people for Xtreme Couture, like, yeah, all the positive people I have around me helped me to get to where I am today. And when I look back, when I thought I was good, like, man, I thought I was really good when I was younger. When I look back, man, I was dog shit. But then you evolve and all that shit, and you go and train with different kind of people and see the world and stuff like that. And you're getting better and better and better and better and better. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely believed I could do that. It wasn't like I was going around like, I'm gonna be an MMA fighter, I'm gonna be an MMA fighter. But when people ask me like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I told them like, yeah, I want to live off of martial arts, and I want to live as being a fighter, and I want to be like a world champion. I want to be rich. I'm like, oh man, why? You can just get a 9 to 5. Like, of course, I respect people who do 9 to 5 jobs. If we didn't have people who did 9 to 5, like police officers, nurses, doctors, bus like drivers, and the woman working behind the counter at like your local grocery store, then society wouldn't be going around. So I respect people who choose that way, but that was just not for me.